just found out where the swimming pool is, and this will be the stream that feeds into it. Good morning. Well, I've just come off route to this spot to film the intro to the video. Parked at Bowden Bridge car park. It was absolutely rammed. There were a couple of really large groups of people, like 30, 40 people hanging around. I'm not sure what they're up to. Probably on some kind of walking tour. The weather today on the drive in, there was some pretty impressive inversions, and I did stop and take a few photos, but it's mostly cleared up now. I didn't get out last week because I wasn't feeling great. I'm still not 100%, so this walk is going to be a relatively short, relatively easy one. That said, I do have some pretty steep climbs, the first one of which is coming up right now. It doesn't look that steep, but it is, take my word for it. Just climbing up White Brow now. Look at these views. This is the White Brow shooting cabin, and there's been a shooting cabin on this location for, well, a very long time, since before the earliest maps. I'm not sure how old this particular structure is. It's probably not the original, but as you can see, it's still in use. Some of the views with the sun breaking through the low cloud over Kinder Scout is just incredible. Amazing. I think that cloud is going to lift quite quickly though. And today's main objective is right in front of me. That's the Knott. It's a high point. It's pretty spectacular looking. I have been up it once before, a couple of years back. It offers pretty awesome views. And a couple of weeks back, well, 3-4 weeks back now, when I was at the old millstone quarries on Kinder Scout, I could see the Knott very clearly, and it just looks so incredible. It looks so impressive, the shape of it. So I thought I'll come back. It's a relatively short, easy walk, and I can't complain so far. So far, it's been gorgeous. Just up that way is Laygates Head Moor. This is called Middle Moor, and I have, last time I came here and last time I climbed the Knott, I did have quite a good look around this area, and it's not that interesting apart from the Knott itself. Now there is a track going up the Knott, and there's a series of grouse butts, so that's probably the easiest way to at least get close to the top. This is the top grouse butt, I believe. So there's kind of a trail that you can follow up. It's quite easy going, but now the trail's come to an end. But I'm nearly at the top of the Knott. So I'm at the top of the Knott, at the summit. These views are absolutely incredible. Over this side is Hollingsworth Clough, where the waterfall is. Check out that video on my channel. I don't think we're going to be able to see the waterfall from this angle. But that's Burnt Hill. And then I kind of came via some of these rock outcrops you can just about make out. And then very carefully, very gradually made my way down the slopes. It's pretty steep and overgrown. There was a lot of quite tall bracken when I did it, although most of that's probably died off now. So it's turning into a really beautiful day. It's not overly warm. It's nice in the sun though. I'm just going to leave my bag here for a few minutes while I have a little walk around, and then I'll come back and have lunch at this spot, because I'm pretty sure this is the spot I came to last time I was here, and it's probably the best spot on the Knott. There's no one around. But yeah, I just want to wander around. There is an old burial cairn, which I want to locate and I kind of want to get below that rock formation and just see what it's like directly beneath it. Directly beneath the main rock formation now, there are clouds of midges around. This is pretty interesting. It's not obvious what would have caused this. I mean, it's too small to be of any practical use, I think. Maybe a weakness in the rock. It's like a mini cave system. For fairies, maybe. So I think the burial cairn would have been pretty much where I am right now. There's nothing left at all that you can see. Not at least not with all this heather. But what a great spot to be buried. Well, I really enjoyed my time here on the Knott today. Absolutely no one else around. Beautiful spot. But if you're just sitting, it is a little chilly, and I'm getting over a bad cold. So I need to get going and continue the walk. Okay, so that's the Knott up there. You can't really see it properly from this angle. I've just come down off-piste through the heather. I was kind of headed that way, but then I made a detour to come out and check this pile of stones out. Over there we've got Burnt Hill. The views are really impressive. And this woodland is where I'm headed next. It looks amazing in its autumn colours. So at this point I'm going to turn off the path and head down here. This is somewhere I've not walked before. And I'm quite intrigued to check this out. I'll tell you a little bit more about it in a minute. This beautiful bit of woodland over here is on private land, unfortunately. Although I believe there is a public footpath which I'm on, which goes through the land. There's a big manor house, country manor house, which I think is now somewhere you can actually rent out. God knows how much it costs. I think it's like a holiday let, where you can rent out the huge building, the huge house. Obviously at some point it would have been a private residence. I think for a while it was a country club. But there is supposed to be, somewhere in the grounds, this, or the remains of, quite an ornate outdoor swimming pool, which was fed by one of these streams. So the big house is called Park Hall. I think there might be some other residences on the land now as well. And at one point the outdoor swimming pool was open to local school children, maybe local people. Apparently it was freezing cold because it was literally off the hillside, and apparently what happened is some time ago there was a really big storm, and I suppose the brook that was feeding the swimming pool must have flooded, and it caused a lot of damage to the swimming pool, and it's been effectively derelict ever since. But I have seen some pictures of it and it looks incredible. And I have heard as well, I don't know how true it is, that it was used for things like pop music videos. Now, I've looked on Google Maps, I've looked on satellite maps. I haven't been able to work out quite where this swimming pool is. If I can find it again, I will put a link to the website I found with pictures of the derelict swimming pool. I'll put a link to that in the video description. It is on private land. I don't know whether if you hire out the manor house, whether you have access to that part of the grounds or not. It does seem that the grounds may have been partially sold off. I can see the roof of a building there. That's not the main house. The main house, I think, is over there somewhere. This is absolutely beautiful with all the orange leaves on the ground. And I've just found out where the swimming pool is, and this will be the stream that feeds into it eventually. Okay, so shout out to Tony and Rita, a really nice couple, retired couple that I just bumped into. I was crossing the stream here when I met them, and I asked them whether they knew about the swimming pool. And it turns out they're local, and in fact Tony learned to swim in the swimming pool. He said it was freezing cold, it wasn't heated. But he said it was very ornate with lots of statues and artwork around it. And apparently lots of people come looking for that swimming pool, even though it's on private land and you can't get to it. So Tony and Rita actually walked with me and showed me where it was. Now, I didn't film that, so I've just come back because apart from anything else, I wanted to film this lovely spot. So yeah, I've just come back, and it is definitely that stream, but it turns around a few little bends before it gets to where the swimming pool is. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to see anything because It is behind a wall, and there is a gate. So the stream is running underneath this road from that point there. Somewhere through in the woods. Tony and Rita were telling me that there used to be a big garden growing produce, and that's why these walls were put up, to protect the produce. Okay, well, this is publicly accessible. It's like an old memorial garden. There is a date on that, 1813 and 1850. So this used to be the entrance to the swimming pool. Although apparently the swimming pool isn't immediately behind the gate. And there used to be a turnstile, which Tony seems to think is still there. That's now Pool Cottage. That's a private residence, but apparently the swimming pool doesn't belong to Pool Cottage. It still belongs to the main house. Looks like there was writing on there, but I can't read it. It's beautiful around here. A lot of money around here. But yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to get any closer to the swimming pool. I don't think we're going to be able to see it. But as I say, I did find an article online with some pictures of that swimming pool. So if I can find it again, I will post a link in the video description. This is Little Hayfield, which I've driven through many times, but never actually stopped. Interesting, it's National Trust, the woodland. Just crossed directly over the road, straight over the road. In front of me is Lantern Pike, which I have walked before. There used to be a beacon on Lantern Pike. So I have walked up there, but I've never walked here before. So yeah, I've never walked along here before. It has the feel of an old railway line. I've no idea whether it used to be one or not, but it feels quite like that. It's very level and it's a good surface to walk on. It's not like a muddy track, and it runs parallel to the road, and it will take me to Hayfield. I had no idea that this part of Hayfield existed. So, back of the car park. There are lots of people around, so I've just had to come here, a quiet spot, to wrap up the video. That was a really enjoyable walk. The weather was amazing. I'm drenched in sweat after that final bit of walking through Hayfield, in the shelter of the the lower roads. The sun is really warm. But yeah, what an amazing walk. I didn't expect to enjoy it quite as much as I did. The Knott is always a beautiful, secluded, peaceful place with incredible views. The walk back was really interesting. And even just walking through Hayfield. I've walked through bits of Hayfield today that I didn't even know existed, and walked along other parts where I've only ever driven my car before, and it's so interesting when you're actually walking and taking the time to look around. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. See you next time.